What's up, everybody? Happy Friday.
Whoa, you sounded super southern.
Happy Friday. Look, I've had a cough for a week and a half.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Scott Van Pelt, a southern-ish name, but not southern, did a very good thing for his alma mater's college radio station, and that was they were raising money to keep funding for Maryland's college sports radio station. And the Maryland Terrapins have been pretty well known in the college sports space for a long time. They have a national championship to their basketball program. Their football program's getting better, and they've been around. Obviously, a team that is discussed for the most part. And the point I'm getting to here is that it was a very small donation to the likes of someone like Scott Van Pelt, but it's the idea of supporting this type of media because it is important. And the reaction that you saw from Twitter, for the most part, was all. I got my first job that was my first broadcasting experience, and that's what led me to my first job in the industry, was working at my college radio station. And for a lot of people, that's how they break into the industry. So first, here are the tweets that he went back and forth with. He actually interrupted his game of golf to be on the Twitter. That time, Scott Van Pelt casually funded the University of Maryland student-run sports radio station. He said to Not the Fake SVP, which is a great Twitter handle, Scott, today's the last day to donate to the radio station. We would love to have you help us out. And he said, what do you need to be fully funded? $1,255. I got you playing golf now. We'll cover this later. You're funded. And he followed that up by obviously making good on his wish with the next element, which shows Scott Van Pelt's donation. And then to the Twitter reaction. So the thing for one, I rip on ESPN a pretty decent amount. I rip on certain programs on ESPN for being trash television, like First Take, because that's what it is. Scott Van Pelt is in a different breed.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting about this is that, for one, I love the idea that he's funding this. It's not independent media, college-run media, but it's giving the little guy a chance and keeping him running.
Well, it's something you wouldn't expect from a guy that, not the guy itself, but when you look at the corporation that he represents, you're going to expect the ESPN to go forth and fund something like this. No. So I've always liked Scott Van Pelt.
Me too.
When I see a Twitter handle that says Not the Fake SVP, I'm immediately drawn to like the guy. It's a very creative name. A lot better than Francis_Maxwell, shameless plug, but somehow still insulting myself.
You should do the fake Francis_Maxwell.
Yeah, that's very true. But this is something that we need now and again to bring up to keep ourselves sane and know that there's good people out there that look to appreciate not the stereotypical large multi-million-dollar media. This is probably a place that he regularly got his content from when he was in college. You know,
I think he was a part of it. I think he actually, I'm sure if you go back, I'm not going to try to age Scott Van Pelt too much, but 30-ish years,
he was probably
on that station.
And it probably gave him the foundation to build his career upon and something that he really looked to and build upon. So I think that it's a good gesture, it's an important gesture, and credit to the guy. Would I take time out my 9th hole to go on a deal to something else?
I mean,
depends. If my game's going shit, I probably will because I'll be looking for a distraction. My game's going well, I don't even know if I'd address like a serious fire because I'm just so zoned in, you know? Unless it happens to be on my golf cart.
SVP's got ESPN by the balls. You can do whatever he wants in that.
Yeah.
He has his own space. He has his own written segment for, it's called One Big Thing. And of course there's producers there, don't get me wrong. But what's so unique about Scott Van Pelt's take is that he goes right after some of the things that we know for a fact ESPN can't stand.
Yeah.
He criticizes the NFL, which is something you don't see on many of the other programs. He was the one who urged his network to stop showing LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
And then he obviously did a take on it. I'm sure he's catching some heat from some producer or two. But the thing that's important here is it's the reason I like Scott Van Pelt is he's the realest person on that network. He doesn't bullshit you. He doesn't give you. He gives you his perspective in an honest way, and that's why it sticks with a younger generation and not just an older generation. I also grew up with the guy. I mean, him, Stuart Scott, and at a time, Olbermann and Dan Patrick that were all at ESPN. It's just a different generation, but he is the old guard who still wants to sit down with you on a one-on-one situation and have those conversations. So I think it's awesome that he does these things. He's a bright spot there, and he's got to continue doing it.
Absolutely.
Not just donating like $1,200 to independent or
But
college
following his
stations.
intuition, you know?
But yes, but
that's
following
it.
that.
It's something that I don't think can be masked, even though people will try their best to mask it. When you can tell when someone's being authentic and someone really does care about specific topics. And if ESPN will start to try and direct him in a different way, I think he would join suit with the rest of the formerly ESPN hosts who have now moved over to Fox Sports. Colin Coward, Skip Bayless.
Did you see, quick side note, we can't show because it's Cisco. Colin Coward actually got Cisco, the guy who wrote the Thong song, to do the LeBron song for MVP, and it is unbelievably well done.
That's pretty funny.
Best part is in the very beginning, Cisco goes, Colin, these lyrics are trash. And then he sings them.
Good for him. All right. Well, let us know what you think. Scott Van Pelt's donations. Wow, that came on a one shot for a great outro, so I'll just keep going as if I'm outroing it, no problems, if I've done this before. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Do we need more kind gestures like this? Will Jason Rubin, when he hits the top, donate to the University of Rhode Island and maybe offer some more creative freedom to the kids that are in University of Rhode Island looking to become the Jason Rubin of the future, not the one who created Crash Bandicoot, but the one who helped UIT Sports get to where it is.
Good goals, man. Those are good goals.
Yeah.
Love Crash Bandicoot.
Who
Big
doesn't?
fan. Great
Who
game.
doesn't? I don't like you if you do.